I don't tell anyone I'm working in Fifo,
Yeah.
particularly cab drivers. Perth Airport.
G'day, I'm Jason and welcome back to Fit for Fifo and episode 17. This week we've got Steve, the tubie from WA, back for the third and final part of his interview, where he discusses how difficult it can be trying to transition back into a normal life with no FIFO. In the back half of this interview, you'll see more of a serious side of Steve, where he discusses a topic which I wish wasn't a reality in FIFO, though it is, and that is suicide. Once you get into the industry and you've been working in it for a while, you get into, I suppose, a bit of a cycle and a rhythm. It's quite easy to forget some, important or valuable things in your life. Some of those things you could think of.
What I've found, and other guys probably the same that I've talked with, family, like doing 4 and 1 for so many years, and rosters similar to that, and then going cold turkey on it, and then back to family life is a hard adjustment.
Yeah, right.
It really is. You're both used to your life. She or he is used to you being away for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then bam, you're back for a week and then you're off again. And then to come back and do 6 months with your partner again, you've got to reconnect. It's going to take time.
Right.
You've got to get used to each other's routines.
Yeah.
And kids have got to get used to it again.
Yeah.
Because you're not always there.
Yeah.
So
that's
reconnecting's the key,
Yeah. Or ideas or things you do to do that, to keep that connection with your family.
You've got to spend that time with them, when they're all there. Especially, we only get that one weekend. You've got to spend it with your kids on the weekend.
Yeah.
Racing off with your mates and sucking piss is great for you, but it's not good for your family. It really isn't.
In your situation, so you've got a partner and two
a couple
kids.
Of girls,
Yeah. So someone in your situation, how long would you say is ideal to stay in the industry?
When your kids are young, there's not a lot you can. Your missus needs a hand, but if you've got, her mother and family, that's cool, and they can be helped. When kids are young, they're not needing you so much. But when they start to get older, 4 and 5, then they're really gonna need dad around a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think particularly, and I haven't got to that stage yet, from what I hear with guys, particularly when, they're going into their teenage years, you've got to pull back and go home for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So make your money in the first 10 years, and then I'd say from 10 onwards, they're going to need you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
They really are.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for them going to school and life.
Yeah, right. And how about for yourself, for the person actually in the industry, but for their physical and mental health, I suppose, do you think, is there any sort of time period do you think you'd recommend?
I wouldn't want to be doing this, when you're heading into your 60s.
Yeah.
Up and down ladders all the time. And guys do it, and credit to the old boys,
Yeah.
They're making good coin,
Yeah.
and they're up and down and working hard. And I just don't want to be doing that at that age.
Yeah, fair enough.
But everyone's got to do what they've got to do.
Yeah.
And the money justifies it.
Mm.
But don't push yourself so hard that you die on a job, because there'd be nothing worse than dying on a construction project that you spent most of your life at.
Yeah, good point. Very valid.
I'd hate it.
Yeah.
I'd rather die in the ocean.
Yeah.
Paddling over the falls.
Yeah.
Oh, too old.
Yeah.
Not on a job.
You're on a FIFO job, and your best mate comes up to you and says, "Steve, I'm not coping well with this. Well, doing FIFO or being away from my family and friends. What would your advice be?"
Oh, look, you really got to help the dude out. You really got to help your mates out.
Yeah.
don't worry about a job to the point where you just neglect a mate. You're more worried about keeping the job.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, this industry, there's been suicides in it, and I don't want to see any more. And no one does. But guys get that depressed. You've really got to listen to them.
Yeah.
And you've got to help them. And maybe you might have to forfeit a couple of weeks' work and go home and support the dude and get his head back around it and get him back on track. And just, I don't know, it's a sensitive subject, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Talk to management of the company. So look, I'm helping this dude out.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
He's going through a hard time.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand that, well, they're fucked. Because they bang on about, all the call centres of helplines and helping people.
Yeah.
But really, your mate's going to help you quicker than anyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to sit there and just listen to a dude bleeding his heart out about his problems at home.
Yeah.
I've done it with mates.
Yeah.
Guys are crying out. It's a hard slog in this industry.
Yeah,
not for everyone, but some dudes are struggling hard.
And would you advise him to get home or get out of the industry as soon as he can?
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
They've really just got to go, this isn't working, it's not worth it. They've got to get back to their family. If it's family related, they've got to get back to their woman and their kids and just, find another way to do it, because Fifo is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, or move your family to the location if you can help, if that's the problem.
Yeah, right.
Get closer to them.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go home and see their missus and kids every night. Of course, Like this place, you can move up to Gladstone when it was on.
Yeah, when it was on, yeah.
You can move there and live there.
Yeah.
Or nearby.
Yeah.
And go home every night.
Yeah, good advice,
You've got to get out of there. There's been one too many suicides, and it's happened to a mate of mine as well.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there for him,
Yeah.
so I know what it's like.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'd left the job before, but I didn't know he'd had problems.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's around. It's
Yeah.
Everyone bangs on jobs like Barrow and Wheatstone and that, and laughs about, I'm on suicide watch,
Yeah.
and it's you shouldn't really laugh at it, but a lot of people say that when day one when they get back, oh man, I'm on suicide watch.
Yeah.
Because it's the first day in your cycle.
Yeah.
And you got another 28 or something in front of you.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. It's a reality.
But you're there because you need the money.
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone I'm working in Fifo.
Yeah.
Particularly cab drivers. Perth Airport.
Yeah.
Because they go, you're Fifo.
Yeah.
Or you're mining. And then bam,
Get a long
I
way.
think you just loaded. Oh, yeah, we'll go this way. Okay, mate. And $50 later, you're only like 10 minutes down the road. But he's going the long way.
Yeah.
Because they all think you're loaded. and certain guys have ruined that by just like lashing out.
Yeah.
They've made so much money, particularly the younger dudes, making so much money, and they're just dishing pineapples out. Boom, boom, I don't care. I just go and make some more.
Yeah, right.
They do.
Yeah.
And that's why a beer in Perth, I think a pint now is like $15.
Oh.
$14-15 now.
Jeez. It's crazy.
Good job.
Yeah.
It's $5 in there.
Yeah.
God. $5 for a pint. Here. Can't get over it. $15 in Western Australia.
Yeah. Have you got any other advice or tips for other guys who are in the industry or guys wanting to get in the industry? Important things that you can think of?
The key thing, you've got to have an outlet. You got to have something to do. You know, I've had heaps. Some of you, surf, kite surf. You know, I was mountain bike riding for a while until I nearly killed myself. So I'm not doing that or downhill anymore. Anything, you know, guys have got Harleys, you know, and off they go, and just get, you know, blow the cobwebs out of their hair. You got to have that. You got to have an outlet. That really is what keeps you going.
Yeah, right.
Don't forget to leave any comments, feedback, suggestions in the comments box below. Share, like and subscribe. See you next week.